So it's November 26th today, guys, and I've been getting lots of questions right now about the Japanese maple seeds, and people want to know when to collect them, how to deal with them, all that kind of stuff. And so I thought I would talk to you guys about that real quick and take you out in my landscape and show you what I do. So a few weeks back though, I actually took some film, maybe it's been close to a month now, and there were still leaves on the trees. And it was a little earlier in the season. I didn't quite pick the seeds yet. It was still a little bit warmer, but I went over some tips on when you should start thinking about collecting your Japanese maple seeds, because people are always wanting to know when is the best time to do that. So let's head on over to that clip right now that I did a few weeks ago, and we'll talk about some kind of rules, I guess you would say, on when and how and all that good stuff for collecting Japanese maple seeds. Hey guys, so here's my blood good Japanese maple tree, and one of the questions I get a lot are, how do you know when to pick the seeds off the tree? So right now, today, it's October 26th, and we're not quite there yet, although we're pretty close. In fact, you probably could pick them now and get away with it, not have any problems. But the things I look for in the weather, you know, and what's going on outside before I pick these is, one, the leaves are falling off the tree. I know then that it's going dormant and there's really not much time for them to do any more, to ripen anymore. And then the other thing is, after one good freeze, which we have had now, it happened a little bit earlier than usual, and then you know that this tree is pretty well going dormant. It's not going to ripen any more seeds. All right, so fast forward here a few weeks, and all the leaves have fallen off the trees, and there is one of my Japanese maples. This is just a generic red leaf Japanese maple here, and you can see all the seeds are still attached there. You know, some of them have probably blown off the tree, but for the most part, they're all attached on there still, and they're all going to be real good viable seeds. I don't think we'll have any problem with germinating these guys. I've got another blood good Japanese maple a little ways off, and they're probably pollinating each other, but I'm going to go ahead and collect these guys and we'll get them ready for the fridge. Alright guys, so I ended up getting quite a few of these. So I've got two Japanese red leaf maples out in my landscape. One of them is a blood good. Another one is just a generic red leaf maple that I picked up, I think it was at Walmart or something like that, years and years ago, and my wife planted it, and it's equally as beautiful. From two of these Japanese red leaf maples that, I swear he only crows when I film. Anyway, from two of these trees, I got a pretty good haul. You can see this is a quart-size Ziplock bag, and it's filling it up about a quarter to a third of the way. It's a lot of seeds, and we should be able to get quite a few seedlings out of these guys. All right, so we got our bag of seeds, and I've got a spray bottle, and all I'm gonna do is just get these guys a little bit moist. I don't want to waterlog these things, so we'll just take the bag, open it up, just a few spritz in here, and that's all it's going to take. You can see already, I just got lots of beads of water kind of running down the side there. We'll kind of shake the baggie up a little bit, get some moisture on all those seeds. So I'm just going to take this, not going to get all the air out of it. You want some air in there. I'm just going to seal it up, and that'll keep it, you know, all that moisture from evaporating out of the bag. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in my fridge now. And then occasionally you can open the bag and let it air out a little bit, get some fresh air in there, check for moisture, but you really don't need to do too much. Now I know a lot of people talk about putting peat moss in the bag with it, or you know, something similar, and I would discourage you guys against doing that. I've done that in the past, but when you put peat moss in it or anything else, you know, it will just fill that bag up more with stuff so that airflow can't get around those seeds as well. And in nature, the seeds just fall from the tree, they land on the ground, and they're just kind of out in the open. Maybe a few leaves cover them, you know, some animals scratch around and they get lightly covered with you know, some loose material, but they don't get packed in tight with a bunch of peat or mud or dirt or, you know, potting soil or anything like that. And so I would discourage you guys against putting peat or anything else in this bag. Just leave it the way it is and you'll get better results. You want plenty of airflow around that seed, but you want it to stay moist as well. And so invariably, after making this video, I'm going to get people coming on here. I do every year. I do every time I make these Japanese maple seed germination videos. Somebody will come on and say, well, duh, this is what nature does. Why don't you just let the seeds fall and land on the ground and germinate on their own? You could do that. The answer to that is this. All we're trying to do is mimic nature, but along with mimicking nature and doing what it's, you know, doing on its own already, we're also trying to control the environment. That's why we're doing this. Yes, nature will sprout these things on their own just fine. And every year, I've got a big leaf maple, a few big leaf maples out on my property. And every year, I get a bunch of big leaf maple seedlings germinating underneath it. However, 5 years later, I don't have 1,000 big leaf maple trees growing right under that original maple. It's because of, you know, environmental factors. So when those seeds fall, sometimes they don't land in the right place, or sometimes it's a, you know, a drier winter and they don't stay moist enough, they don't stay viable. Sometimes animals come along and pack them off. Sometimes, you know, spring will come and it'll warm up and they'll start sprouting, and then all of a sudden you get a hard freeze and it kills all the seedlings. So there's so many environmental factors involved and you can't really predict what's going to happen. So that's why I do it this way. I'm trying to copy nature as much as possible, but also control the environment so that I can have a reasonable prediction of what I'm going to get. So by doing it this way, you're keeping them moist, you're keeping them cold all winter long. You're not doing anything crazy. You're not breaking wings off. You're not putting them in hot water. You're not drying them out. You're doing exactly what nature would do, except you're controlling the environment. Then you have the option in springtime to take them out when you know that the weather's going to be okay for growing seedlings. All this does is control the environment and just make it so that you get a better prediction of seed germination. You're going to be able to get more seeds to germinate. You're going to be able to count on more seeds germinating and then getting through that first little phase of growth and growing on into big trees. So guys, I've got one more question for you. What are you waiting for? Get out there and collect some Japanese maples. It's a lot of fun. Trust me, do it this way. I've tried all kinds of ways. This is super successful. Take care of your seeds just like I'm showing you here, and you guys will get more little seedlings next spring than you ever imagined you would get, and you probably won't know what to do with all of them. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have an awesome week. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you want to follow along. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.